Dr. K Vijayan, Director, ICAR-CIBA. Dr. Vijayan is a renowned marine biologist and aquaculture scientist with vast experience in marine biotechnology, mariculture, and aquatic animal health. He pioneered the development of WSSV diagnostic tools in India and won the prestigious National Award for the Best Commercial Biotech Product from the Department of Biotechnology in 2003. He worked in CMFRI as the head of the Marine Biotechnology Division and played a major role in the development and commercialization of novel nutraceutical products such as the Cadalmin GME, a nutraceutical from the green mussel, and the Cadalmin GAE, green algal extract, development and launching the Varna series of ornamental fish feeds, and the pathogen profiling among the farmed bivalves. He has authored more than 85 international research papers and has more than 10 commercialized Brackishwater aquaculture technologies and 5 patents in his credit.
I think the whole audience is already exposed to this genetics, genomics and biotechnology environment. And yesterday morning we have very nice presentation from Dr. Vaiban. And here also Gustavo and Pearl also would have again presented. Here my job has become very simple because already this has been presented, the selective breeding program, genetics, genomics, etc. Just now Vindhya again presented. So I will just will be telling what is this relevance of this Penaeus indicus. So all of you know the background that, you know, how it has come, the selective SPF we have been hearing. So when the genetic improvement program start, that time Vanami and Indicus was in the same boat. I think Vaiban early 90s he started. There was no industry like as such in US. So he knew that is what the visionary, that means we see that this has to be done and is going to have, that is 1990 to 96 I think is journey. And then it took off from 2010 and now it's covered the world, and you know, they say $50 billion, I think 20 billion. I don't want to go into the details, but it has become a big success story, taken over the world. Okay. So in that count, whether we missed our white shrimp, is named Indian white shrimp, American white shrimp, you know, that is what I would like to, why, what is the relevance? Now India, 700,000, 7 lakh tons of shrimp we talk about proudly. We are the exporter, and 30,000 crore, 90% Vanami. A single species focus for a 30,000 crore industry. Is it a sustainable one for a long term? And I think today morning we had a round table where all the Indian industries, we specifically called them to sensitize them to tell this. You know, can we go with this Vanami story alone, you know, to world, or whether it's a high time, whether we have to look at a new species, we need to add more diversification. And in that count, we have been proactive like Dr. Vaiban, because from 1980s, we had a visionary to Dr. Silas. There was a program. We started a series of research project at CMFRA at that time. And Indicus was an important species. So that time in 80s and 70s in India, Indicus was the species farmed. Everybody has farmed, and even the export was with the wild caught, maybe because the aquaculture has started. It was Indian white shrimp. There is an Indian white brand in Japanese market. And then the story, that's what I have just showed you here. You know, initially there was no aquaculture. Then we started with wild seed, you know. Then in the wild seed issue, we know that there was no formulated feed, as my people earlier presented rightly said that one of the good quality seed, maybe SPF, a good feed, management are the drivers. So then it came to the mind of the people at that time, export earnings were good. What is the growth factor? So in later, we brought in 1990, a success story, we want to make it there, we bought tiger shrimp. What is the alternative? So what happened at that moment of time, in Taiwanese model, there was a model outside, tiger. So we bought tiger because tiger is a native species. Issue of SPF doesn't arise. We bought in tiger and an aquatic farm at that time. An American company made the scaling up model to make a commercial hatchery, 100 million PL, and then feed has come. But the mistake or maybe the overlooking what we have done, when we started this tiger experiment, our own species we forgot. We should have done a parallelly looked at indicas. Then what happened 1991? This again a sunrise story of the tiger farming in India. 92, 93, you can see that 94, a white spot problem came. I will say, all this story of the success, we should dedicate to the white spot virus because that made it successful. 1994, the virus came, new virus, we don't know what it is. Every specialist, a bacteriologist said it is a bacteria. Virologist was not thought of. People thought fungi and all that. We don't know what pathogen. In 5 days, a crop has lost. 1 hectare pond with 5 tons of crop has lost in 3 days. You cannot even harvest. The virus attack was lethal. Then done all the things and actually that is what happens in India. Research institutions and the government agencies, when the industry goes normal, nobody come to us. They are happy, they think it is their smartness, that is generally. So there is no dialogue, they go on. When the day it fails, they will come back to the government institution and say, where is our solution? Where is our solution? There is a problem of white spot. This tiger is no more, we want a species. So in 94, 95, Marine Products Expert Development Authority declared a holiday, one crop holiday. Have you ever heard of? We don't know what to do. So then 2005 to 10 was the, 1995 to 2009. Then the success story of Vaiban. I seen him a YouTube video. I think it's a retirement time. The process he went on. He went to the, Hawaii Institute and told, look, I have a model, we have to commercialize it. Institute told, why your job is not the business, you do your, research. I think he took voluntary retirement and went into the sector and it was a failure initially. You can read that. But then later, 2008, the success story came and then we won that. Our industry, we all understood that we have to bring SPF. That is Vanami, American shrimp. Can you imagine? A flight to America is 24 hours. We all don't like to take 24 hours flight. We don't enjoy it. 3-hour flight's okay. So we have to bring this from Hawaii, to India. But that is the only way out. Because the industry is a dynamic industry like poultry. And all the time, the farmers, the sector, the institution, the government of India, all of us came together and we bought in Vanami. And then it's a story. So that's what I said. And we forgot the genetic improvement because we have a Vanami with us. Vanami is an exotic shrimp. It's an American shrimp. We forgot our Indian white shrimp. India is such a huge country. And this Indicus is not alone in Indian. It's a pan-Asian. So this is Indicus. But you see, this initiative started in 1982 by Silas. We have continued. We did not stop. We know that we cannot stop. We need to know in any candidate species, we need to, have to do all the biology, the data, So we have in mind, but to that, we have continued our story. And these are all success stories. But a single species thing can always fail. And such a big industry we cannot make. So Indicus is having a role to play. So you can see the constraint. No single species. How can you depend on it? Then we again look back. I was telling the industry, now look, you are making profit. Come back and let us start a breeding program for Indian white. But once you are having a success model, why should they invest on it? And the over dependence on this species, when tomorrow something happens, overnight you cannot find solutions. So the initiatives in the development of SPF of indigenous species such as Indicus the Indian wild shrimp is required for the long-term sustainability of the most promising sector. So you can see that this is a AQFS story. You see all parents of this, hatcheries, everything come from US and are farming it. And something happened if it is doesn't 100 rupees. If you really look at Indian rupees, maybe a pair cost in the biological value, but they sell it for I think $200 per pair. And it's something like $1 billion business. And Indicus, easy to breed and growth potential compared to Vanami, that is non-selected Indicus at that time, it is almost equivalent to Vanami. And it's a native species, so it will have native advantage because this fellow was from our own place. So we can, and lot of research has been done. Biology, the life cycle completed, farming experiment. This is an example, I don't want to go into that. You see the red one, final mean weight is almost, you see the Indicus 18.4 and 19.7. You see, we were same, that Robin was presenting, it's something like a Sieben story. And these are the things I am sending. Whatever this basic requirement of the research requirement has been done and published in Indicus, it is readily available. Then that is why yesterday morning, Robin, I think today morning in the round table, he was telling, when he was trying in Thailand, in the SPF monodon, they were spending $1.2 million every year, but nothing was in sight. So you should imagine that 1980 to this 2015, we are talking about how many million rupees India is spending, because we need to have a proactive backup. And this is the thing what we did. I cannot simply tell the industry, you take Indicus and farm it. We have to tell them it's a good species. And the farmer has to see that, why should he go for Indicus? So we produced Indicus because no hatchery was producing. We farmed it all along India, giving the seed and feed free. Okay, because then only will get the data in a project. And we got very compatible harvest everywhere. And you see that it is again 18 gram, up to 18 gram of the Indicus. Vanami, selective bred Vanami grows same. After 20 gram, 22 gram, Vanami take off. So that means at the time, people wanted 30 gram shrimp. It was difficult to reach 30 gram size. But now, 15 gram size of shrimp is having a global demand, and largest processing volume is 12 gram, 14 gram, 15 gram. So the real opportunity is coming. You can see that when you look at this, growth thing, this Indicus is in the same domain. If you do selective breeding of Indicus, only advantage I would say for the Vanami is an open telecam shrimp. Tiger and Indicus is a closed telecam, so reproductive challenge is there. Only when it's soft, body is soft, molting, the reproduction happens. So hatchery people, it is a big challenge. Otherwise, they are very close, and you see the distribution. See, America, it is all came from Vanami. It is nowhere native. But you see Indicus, it is all along India, Madagascar, South Africa, all Middle East. So it's a species. Even if you work, it can really make a good story. And India, we did the basic study again. Any genetics breeding program, you need to know the stock. We have got different stock. We have got at least 4 stocks. They are genetically diverse. And another thing is that when we produce this shrimp, we ask the people to test it. Very good taste. And again, domestic market more acceptable. It is a commercial species compatible to Vanami. So a country like India and the industry, it is a positive thing today morning. My only, the purpose of the presentation is to bring that our own native species, there is a space. So the industry itself is also aware, and they are also agreeing that we need to go ahead. But mostly, no companies, as the presentation told, why should they come? But I would like to cite the salmon success story. Nobody thought an SPF salmon will come. How many million tons they are producing? It's a long story. I think 15 years, salmon. You just read the salmon story. So when you compare to salmon, we can say it's a fixed bullet. It will be a success. And domestic breeding program, I don't want to say. Many people have, it's a structured process. It is not easy. The minimum period what we are looking at is 5-year period. Okay, you need a 5-year. But we have a lot of thing has been already filled. Gap. There is no, all the biological thing has been done except genomics. And genomics also, we made an initiative. We have done mitochondrial genome. Yesterday, I think Vivan itself was telling shrimp genome is difficult because of the repeat. Cost is high. So, but we also started. Now, yesterday, I think the last week, the Vanami genome is posted. Now, we are also through. It's almost 80% of the genome we have done. We will come with the draft genome in March 2019. So, we have got all these. These are all nothing new in it. Definitely, what I have seen in selective breeding programs, science says if you target growth, a single trait, definitely it will be a success. The moment you bring one more trait like disease resistance, growth will be compromised. It's the basic science. So now, but both models are there because of the white spot. There are some lethal pathogen you are failed to address. So we talk about, okay, let us compromise on little bit on growth and we can take a good crop. So we can have an SPR. I think we should talk about everything. It is not exclusive. Yesterday, Robin was emotionally presenting that health if shrimp can alone do. No, we need SPF, we need feed, good quality, health management. It is a holistic thing. So I used to say that aquaculture is a complete biotechnology, activity where everything come into place. Old data, but you see the way it's shooting up. And when you're shooting up, generally the graph used to taper off, isn't it? So we should be prepared for that. So there's a lot of advantages. I don't want to go into too much into it, but we can really initiate a program. What we need is some money. When that industry is having, 30,000 crore is a $6 billion. Money is not issue. So all these things, we have done it because when I am coming to in front of you and telling a species, I need to have the science what is required, the commercial data, and this data, the commercial sector should be appealing for the farmers. If the farmers don't take it, then it cannot be successful. But Penaeus indicus could serve as a complementary species, not an alternative, not a replacement. This will be a backup for the Indian industry and all should come together. And once you invest, suppose we come out with an SPF stock, it is not going to be just Indian. Definitely, even the consumers, once you're successful, we can market, we can tell that the Indian white shrimp is tasty. Whoever eat, they say it's more tasty. Domestic market. And the whole, maybe it's a native species, it will be more easy to do. It will be more market acceptance. So things will be good and market you should see. And this approach is nothing, I think all thing is on the plate. Only what you need is an alliance, maybe a consortium to bring that money on table. And these are all challenges but everything, if your money is there, the mind is there. And somebody was telling that if you have a heart and a will, it will become a success. And yes, SPF is not an easy job. You need to do it very right way. Biosecurity, quarantine. If you compromise, so our stocks are there. We need to have such a country should have even suppose I make only a facility in East Coast, a cyclone can take it off. I think it happened in even US. So we need even a backup, NBC. So the cost, we cannot stop it. And we need multiple BMC initially itself. So definitely with all the lessons and experience we have, it is not a new thing. We can do it. And definitely the growth can be expected. Operational responsibility, I suggest it should be a consortium, not CIBA or a government agency. All the players, the industry, we will come together as a consortium. And then consortium, when you make it, you can bring back the money due to when SPF indicus become a successful, at least a country like India. I think when you earn 30,000 crore, what is you can make for R&D? In India, it is dismally poor. I think is less than 1% and all that. So this money has to be bought from the successful industry. When you are, even you can bring it as a cess. We talk about Swachh Bharat, the cess. Everything there is a stress, there is a cess. Here we need a hope. We should bring some cess back. We can easily make 3,000 crore. And again, whether we are going to do it alone, no. We can bring the successful international partners. They are having big business in India. You have seen the Gustavo's presentation. They are already in India as a equity partner. But I think it's not just one company because there, when the inherent cost will be there, they will feel stress. So they can come together. So there won't be the inherent risk will be less. And the Indian government is very positive. Investment, state government will come forward, and the budget it's just 200 crore. You convert into million, I think 20, 25 million dollars. It's nothing when you talk about 5 billion. That is my story. Thank you.